Hello, welcome back to another episode of Why Are Comic Books So Addictive? In many ways, I'm glad that the younger and newer crops of collectors still find many of the books addictive, to chase after them and to buy them because that's the only way many older collectors can profit as they get out of the hobby. So it's always good to see a new generation of collectors replacing the old one. And one of the things that I think is tougher and tougher for a newer collector to deal with is how to proceed with collecting. Back in the old days, back when I entered the hobby, it's easier because the kind of books that were available for me to buy was not as many. As the years gone by, the decades gone by, now today, I think it's tougher for a newer collector to adjust and focus and find the right path for them. That's one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of all these reboot, renumber, because from what I heard, it's easier for a newer collector to go and start a new series with number one. But then when you start to go, is in most collectors, I think it's almost inherent in all of us that eventually you start to want to go back and buy back issues. And when you start to have that urge to go back and buy issues, then you face with dilemma, okay? Because there is so many different series. Unless you jump past the madness of the 90s to the current and go right into the Bronze Age and Silver Age, because from the Silver Age through the 90s, you have at least a continuity of issue numbers and not have to deal with volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, all kind of nonsense, right? And I know every time a younger or a newer collectors ask me, I want to go and buy Silver Age, I want to start collecting Silver Age, but how do I proceed? Where should I proceed? In one of the older video, I mentioned that Thor is a fairly inexpensive title to collect. One of the other suggestions that I have made over the past few years is that if you don't want to collect a run, okay, like if you don't want to collect Thor as far as a run, another way to collect, especially these days where more people are cover collector, is collect certain character that's on the cover. For example, one easy one that I brought up many times is that if you want to collect Silver Age and you don't really want to chase after any particular title, or you find it too difficult to chase after any particular title, how about a character? One of my favorite, Doctor Doom. Okay, outside of his first appearances, the majority of Doctor Doom appearances on covers are not that expensive, and you can start a collection, a back issue collection, where you focus on Doctor Doom appearances on the cover. It would be a pretty cool collection if you can gather all of Doctor Doom appearances on the cover, right? Here's one, a Fantastic Four Silver Age, okay? Issue 60. Once again, if you go for a mid-grade copy, you don't have to go for low readers, but even the mid-grade, very affordable. How about issue 37 and 38 of Daredevil? This is one of my all-time favorites Gene Colan, Silver Age, Daredevil. Look at that. Look at that awesome Doctor Doom. Okay, 37, 38. There you go. But you can easily focus on that. I mean, I think it's more fun to focus on Doctor Doom and trying to collect all his appearances, because Doctor Doom appeared in a lot of covers in the Silver Age as well as the Bronze Age. I think if you have that kind of focus, I think it would be a lot of fun to chase down all those covers that had Doctor Doom. And that's one way to collect. You know, I can't harp on enough that there are so many different ways to enjoy the hobby. It is addictive and it's fun to collect, and it's many ways to collect. You don't have to be you can be a collector of keys, and if you achieve that and you're trying to figure out where to go next, why not that? Why not focus on an awesome villain like Doctor Doom or Galactus or Magneto, some key villain that appear on the covers? Those tend to be a lot of fun. But that's it. Just another video on why comic books are so addictive. Thanks for watching. Bye.